If you've been hunting for that magical mix of shimmering clarity, powerful low end and refined detail, all at a reasonable price, you might want to pause your IEM search right here. This is the Kiwi Ears Astral, a rising star in the IEM scene. But can it truly punch above its weight? We're about to find out. Let's plunge in. The Astral from Kiwi is a 1 dynamic driver, 6 balanced armature hybrid IEM, an uncommon configuration at this price point. It houses a 10mm bioceramic dynamic driver for deep textured bass, paired with 6 BA drivers, 4 mids and 2 highs to deliver vocal clarity and shimmering highs. It's rated at 23 ohms impedance with a 105 dB sensitivity, making it easy to pair with smartphones, dongles and portable decks. Build-wise, the lightweight raisin shell is ergonomically shaped and it comes with a braided 0.78mm 2-pin cable, plus both 3.5 and 4.4mm connectors in the box. No wallet stretching aftermarket upgrade needed. At $299, the Astral is approaching higher end territory, but first impressions suggest it might just be worth it. The Kiwi Ears Astral is tuned with an energetic V-shaped sound signature. This means you can expect a bold and engaging low end, a clear and slightly elevated mid-range and a sparkly extended treble. It's not shy in its delivery, this is an IEM to grab your attention, while still offering enough refinement to satisfy more critical listeners. To get a real feel for how it performs across different genres, I tested the Astral with 3 contrasting tracks, each chosen to highlight a different aspect of its tuning and technical capabilities. First up, Billie Eilish, You Should See Me in a Crown. This track thrives on sub-bass pressure and layered production. The Astral's 10mm bioceramic driver delivers deep rumbling sub-bass with authority. But crucially, it stays tight and controlled, never muddy or overwhelming. Billie's close-mic'd, whisper-style vocals remain articulate and centered, with clear separation from the low-end pulses. Subtle production effects and vocal layering come through with surprising clarity, making this a genuinely immersive listen. Now for something more mid-focused, John Mayer, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. This is a great test of vocal timbre and instrumental texture. Mayer's voice is rendered emotional, intimate and slightly forward, just where it should be for a track like this. The guitar work sounds detailed and organic, with every bend and string pluck coming through clearly. There's no congestion or masking as the reverb builds. The Astral handles the nuance of this track with real finesse, especially in the upper mids. And finally, a cinematic piece to test the Astral soundstage and imaging. Hans Zimmer's Cornfield Chase. While it doesn't create an artificially wide field, the sense of space here is well proportioned and immersive. You can clearly track the movement of string layers, ambient effects and piano swells across the stereo field. The treble extension provides just enough air and shimmer to let orchestral details breathe, without veering into harshness or overemphasis. It's a great example of how the Astral balances technical precision with emotional weight. Alright, now let's talk about how the Kiwi Ears Astral stacks up against the Orivetti OH700 VB, a flagship IEM that retails for a steep $699. At more than twice the price of the Astral, expectations are naturally higher, but the comparison is closer than you might think. In terms of overall sound tuning, both IEMs lean into a V-shaped signature, but with very different executions. The OH700 VB goes for a warmer, richer presentation, with a smoother treble and a more relaxed mid-range. Thanks to its dual tuning modes, selectable via discrete faceplate switches, you can slightly tailor the sound to your liking, either pushing the lows or enhancing the highs depending on the track or your mood. The Astral, by contrast, takes a brighter and more energetic approach. Its treble and upper mids are more pronounced, bringing vocals, acoustic instruments and micro details further forward in the mix. It's more lively and immediate, but also a bit more intense, particularly for listeners who are sensitive to brightness. When it comes to technical performance, the OH700 VB shows its flagship pedigree. It excels in micro detail retrieval, instrument separation and treble extension. The layering in complex tracks feels natural and effortless, offering a sense of refinement that's hard to beat. The Astral, while not quite as surgically detailed, has its own strengths. Its 10mm bioceramic dynamic driver delivers a punchier, more visceral bass, and the overall presentation feels more engaging for rhythm-driven music. It might fall slightly short in resolution and staging depth compared to the Orivetti, but it delivers a dynamic and fun sound that feels more immediate and emotional. Build quality is strong on both fronts. The OH700 VB features a resin metal shell that feels solid and premium in hand, though it's slightly heavier in the ear. The Astral counters with a lightweight all-resin construction that's incredibly comfortable even during long listening sessions. And the Astral's included braided modular cable with both 3.5 and 4.4mm plugs is an impressive addition, especially at this price point. So what about value? Well, the OH700 VB is designed for audiophiles seeking tuning flexibility, refinement and flagship level detail. And at $699 it delivers on that promise. But the Astral at $299 gets surprisingly close in many areas. It offers around 80 to 90% of the Orivetti's technical performance, yet adds a bit more excitement and low-end impact. That makes it an incredibly strong choice for anyone who wants a high-end sound experience without the high-end price tag. Ultimately, while the OH700 VB remains a serious performer for seasoned audiophiles, the Astral holds its own remarkably well. And in terms of sheer value and fun factor, it might just be the smarter choice for a wider audience. Alright, let's break down the strengths and weaknesses of the Kiwi Ears Astral in a single honest take, starting with a few areas where it doesn't quite hit the mark. First off, if you're treble sensitive, the Astral might come off a little bit peaky on brighter recordings. It's not harsh, but that energetic upper tuning can occasionally push a bit too far, especially on tracks that are already hot in the treble. Imaging is solid, but the soundstage isn't especially wide or deep. You get good layering left to right, but don't expect a holographic experience like you might with higher end sets. And while the accessory pack is decent, you get a compact case, a modular cable with both 3.5 and 4.4mm plugs. It does feel a little bare bones at this price. No foam tips, no cable clip, nothing extra to round it out. Speaking of price, at $299, the Astral sits in what most would consider the start of premium tier, and that naturally raises expectations, especially when it comes to overall performance and polish. That said, the Astral makes a very strong case for itself once you actually start listening. The bass is a standout, deep, textured and engaging. It hits hard when it needs to, but it never gets sloppy. Honestly, on certain tracks I actually prefer its dynamic driver bass over what the OH700 VB delivers. It just has more impact and character. The mid-range is clear and emotional, with vocals and acoustic instruments coming through with a real sense of presence. Whether it's a stripped-down singer-songwriter piece or something more layered, the Astral handles it with warmth and detail. Treble stays crisp and airy, without veering into sibilance, maintaining clarity while avoiding fatigue on longer sessions. Build-wise, it punches above its weight. The shell is lightweight but feels solid, with no obvious trade-offs in durability. And that modular cable, with both balanced and single-ended plugs right out of the box, adds serious value. You usually don't see that kind of flexibility without going aftermarket. Finally, comfort is excellent. The ergonomic shape and light build means you can wear these for hours without irritation or pressure. So, while the Astral isn't perfect, it hits more than it misses. And it brings a level of performance and usability that makes its price tag feel well earned. Let me be crystal clear. The Kiwi Ears Astral isn't chasing sterile reference sound. It's engineered to deliver exciting, musical and polished performance, and it does so with aplomb. If you're stepping up from a budget IEM or crave energized bass and clarity, the Astral is a serious contender at $299. In short, the Astral delivers a stellar balance of fun and finesse at less than half the price of its nearest competitor, earning it a strong recommendation for music lovers on a budget. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and drop your go-to song for testing sound in the comments below. I'll give it a spin next time. Happy listening!